I think that learning may well be the most distinctive aspect of conservative Judaism and that which most sets it apart from other kinds of Judaism. To me, it all goes back to the central command to love the Lord our God and therefore study God's Torah, our Torah, with all of our heart and not part of it, all of our mind, all of our soul, all of our might. We can't leave any aspect of our knowledge or our experience out of the enterprise. If science has relevant things to teach us, we want to know about science. If philosophy helps us figure out how to act in this world as good human beings, then we want to know what philosophy has to teach us. If other traditions, including other faith communities, have wisdom in them from which we can learn, we want to do that. And Judaism has commanded that, and certainly conservative Judaism has always stressed that. This is part of what sets conservative Judaism apart, and frankly, what sets JTS apart from other schools. We study the sources in great depth, but we also want our students to know the context behind the text, stemming from the text, and we want our students to know everything they can about this big wide world which we want to be a part of and help make better. So that's one key to Jewish learning that conservative Judaism carries forward with great energy and commitment. There's something else that's characteristic of Jewish learning that bears emphasis. There's no learning without practice. Torah is valuable for its own sake, but Torah is valuable because it leads to maaseh, because it leads to deeds. And I think our teachers understood that it's also true the other way around. You don't learn about friendship in the abstract. You learn about friendship out of the experience of being a friend. You don't study love by reading a treatise on love. You study treatises on love, if you do, from your experience of being someone who loved and is loved. The same thing with Judaism. Judaism binds learning to the practice that comes out of the learning and leads into the learning. The learning is, we would say in Hebrew, toch kedei. It's from the midst of Jewish life, from the midst of Jewish deeds. I'm really proud of the way conservative Jews learn. You can't learn too much because life is complicated. Jewish wisdom runs deep, and you want to do the best job at fulfilling God's commands as you possibly can. So learning is the key for me, and I hope for you. And let's use this study as a way of reflecting on what Jewish experiences of learning have meant the most to us. Which ones have left us cold? Is there anything special about the way we learn Torah, whether it's the 5 books of Moses or Torah in the broad sense of Jewish tradition? How can we learn better? How can we make learning a more integral part of each of our lives in the coming months and years?